right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Beyond Charts Morning Brew. Wow, February 2nd, 2022, guys. Wow. This market is becoming resilient. Resilient. Who's out there? We got 5 people. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, guys, got a lot to cover here today. Markets are moving on Google. What's up, Win? What's going down, Win? How's it going? Good morning to you. All right. Everybody's up and early. How's my West Coast peeps? Are they up? Nope, not yet. Is James out there? Guys. Oh, Skates, what's up, Skates? Good morning, brother. Good morning. All right, guys. Wow. All right, we got a couple of plays here today. Got some beautiful setups. All right, so I'm eager, excited to share that. You're tired? All right, brother. Oh, man. All right, brother. Don't worry. Get some coffee because it's going to be a beautiful setup today. All right. Beautiful setup. So we did get some news over the, what was it? Some job reports came out this morning. So it came out less than expected, which was kind of, so that's going to bring down the markets a little bit, but let's dive into it. All right. So I'm going to share with you guys, today. So we had a couple of big announcements yesterday. The first announcement that we have here was Google. So this is the plays for today, guys. So you have Facebook, Qualcomm, Spotify, T-Mobile, Suncor, but these two are going to be the biggest. Probably these three. And I haven't checked Spotify in a while, but Alphabet killed their earnings yesterday, destroyed their earnings, guys. James, what's up? James is up. All right. So Google destroyed their earnings. So basically, that might be the play for today. These guys climbed. I mean, it was just stupid. They just anyway. They're doing a 20-to-1 stock split, and why they're doing it, guys? They're doing it because they want to enter into the Dow. The Dows are weighted, so they're going to be included in the Dow. That's where they're doing it. Split date is going to be July 1st. Now, Google right now is probably right now is at 30.22. The high was 30.58. If you want to play Google, and I'm going to share this with you, Google will probably drop about 50 points at the open, and then it should pop. That has been the pattern of Google, especially after good earnings. Now, Google long-term can probably hit 3,500, 3,800 before the split date. Yeah, okay, because it's 20-to-1. Now, here's the thing about Google. Because the split date is 20-to-1 and they're increasing their amount of shares out there, after this split, so right now, enjoy the time for the movements on Google, because after the split date, it's not going to move like it did before. It's just too many shares, right? So there's too many shares. It's not going to move as much. But until then, July 1st, we're going to enjoy this ride. I'm going to share that with you. Now, Google moves, right? Their advertisement sales were ridiculous, right? So now, what does that mean? That means now that TTD is going to move on Google. All right, so we have that. Now, the big one I have is Amazon. Now, here's a question. Amazon has always been rumored to split. Is Amazon going to split and try to get into the Dow? Is that going to be the only saving grace? We know that Amazon has wage inflation. We know that they have supply chain issues. We know they have the Bezos selling a whole bunch of shares every quarter. These are all selling pressures as weighted on Amazon. Now, Amazon did come out yesterday and said that they are going to raise Prime. So that's everybody's raising rates, right? Netflix did that. Amazon's doing that. Now, the saving grace. What if Amazon says they're gonna split? If they split, Amazon can go up to about 3,800, pretty fast, right? I have to check where Amazon is, but yeah. What did Win say? I'm long. Hold it. I see cross on the alleys. Beautiful on Google. Yeah, we're gonna set those up. I got a couple of plays setting up for you guys, as well as Netflix that I'm looking at. I'm excited to get through this, but I just want to share with you something. So now, check this out. If Amazon, right, does well, right, the one that can move Amazon, right, the one that's going to go along with Amazon is going to be Shopify. Okay, so Amazon will move Shopify. If Amazon comes out with good earnings, surprisingly good earnings, Shopify will move with Amazon. Okay, and I'll kind of go through that. So I love earnings because one's going to move the other. Like AMD is going to move the chips, right? AMD like killed their earnings, guy. Destroyed earnings. Came out with very very positive statements. So again, that's going to gap up as well. And again, based on AMD, AMD is probably going to move NVIDIA, right? Because NVIDIA and then a bank, BAC came out, Bank of America came out and said that the European chip makers look very inexpensive. So now add this information to that information. We're going to be looking at the chips. The chips is what saved the market yesterday. It just kind of took off. And remember, Tesla came out last week on earnings. They were good earnings. They were really, really good earnings, right? Good cash. Now, what chips did Tesla use? Well, they just bought overpriced chips. Remember last quarter, they bought NVIDIA chips. So now let's add AMD. If Qualcomm comes out with good earnings, which we suspect they will, now we have what? NVIDIA is going to be setting up for us when they announce earnings, right? Because Tesla said great things, right? Who does Tesla use? Well, we know from last quarter, they bought a whole bunch of NVIDIA chips and they overpaid for them. So is that still going on? Remember, guys, chips are going to be, for the next 20 years, everything's going to be chips, right? So chips aren't going nowhere. Once the supply chain issue gets fixed, everything's going to have a chip in it. So this is why we're going to spend, and I said, it's going to be the year of the chips, and it's going to be like 10, 20 years of chips, guys. So let's get to it. So right now, this is just look at this stance. You can go to Facebook. No, not Facebook. Go to my Twitter account. I have it set up. I load these up every week and have it so you'll know exactly what is playable. As far as the ADP numbers, those came out, and I just got a text. Let me see if I can find it. So ADP. Okay, so private payrolls fell by a whooping 300,000 for January. Estimate to be 200,000. So those are ADP. So those are the private reports. Now here's the thing about it. On Friday, we have non-farm payrolls. So you got to pay attention to that. And I'm going to see if I have that. I think I do. All right, let me see. I do. And it's in a week ahead. So on Friday, we have non-farm payrolls, which is right. Where is it? Okay. It's Friday. Thursday, Friday. Okay, so where is it? Was this last week's? That is last week's. All right. So, all right, here we go. On Friday, we have non-farm payrolls. You have to pay attention to that. Now, here's the deal. The XPX will probably hit 4,600. Now, question is, will Chairman Powell look at this and say, well, the XPX is now at 4,600, better than 4,200. Should we just pull should we just say 50 basis points and get it over with? So, again, we don't know, but that is a possibility. So just keep that in mind. And all right, let's dive in. Let's go into the good stuff. All right, so let's start off with the overall analysis here. And let's check it out. Okay, so we're going to go into analysis. And again, let's see. Guys, if you have a ticker you want me to look at, let me know, and I'll cover it at the end. All right, but right now we're going to be looking at market environment. All right, so check it out. So yesterday we were at the 50% retracement line, like we were right there. Okay, so now the XPX, like I told you guys on Sunday, we're probably going to have a bull week. We're going to rally up, okay? And as you can tell, all the positive statements came out. We have a big earnings announcement. So again, it's interesting because I talked to a trader yesterday and they were like, oh, I don't trade, news. And I'm like, well, as a trader, you're supposed to trade news. News is what makes the market move. We trade news, right? It's like, James asks, is Apple earnings today? No, Apple earnings not today. I don't think it's today. No. We'll get to that. But so right now, what are we looking at? The XPX right now, if this crosses, it's going to add a little bit more momentum to the high side. And more than likely, what I'm noticing is that the XPX is probably going to go to the 50-day moving average. It's like a magnet, right? It's going to head up there. Now, there was a level up there that we looked at. Let me see where we're going to open up today. We're going to open up right now at 46.69. Wow, 46.69. So 46.69. I'm sorry, 45.69, right? Yeah, sorry, my dyslexia kicked in. 45.69. So 45.69 is going to put us right at that 49.79. So we're going to gap up, guys. We're going to gap up. So that MACD is going to cross. So more than likely, we are going to touch 4,600. I'm guessing. I'm going to throw it out there. Let me get rid of this. You don't need to see me. Let me just put it here. Let me get rid of this. Let me get the banner away. Okay, that's much better. All right, so right now we're going to probably go up. So 45.79. We're going to open up there. We're probably going to meet the 50-day. Now, yesterday, I believe it was Skates, or, correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody said Fibonacci's. We're going to put those on there. And there was a level up there that the Fibonacci's told us. All right, so now this is the level right here at the 66th percentile. It's 45.91. So write that in there, 45.91. Again, a lot of traders, a lot of bots use Fibonacci's. So again, this is the swing from here to there. And again, if we break 45.91, there's probably going to be some selling. It's going to be in that area. The 50-day is going to meet there as we cross. Now, if we go above 4,600, that's going to be very positive, and the market is back on track to probably going up in this range up here, okay? Next level up, and I'll share that with you. I don't have the levels up here, but I'm going to get the levels with you as we dive into with the XPX a little deeper. Now, the NASDAQ, again, is at that 200-day moving average. NASDAQ is going to open right at that 15,202, 15,202. So, yeah, we're going to open above the 200-day moving average, guys. So this is amazing. This is great. We're going to be opening up. Next level up is probably going to be that 200-day moving average. If I use the fibs here, and you can do this, and again, if you're trading this, I'm going to use the fibs from there. The fibs is right at that 15,610. Okay, that's the 61st retracement. So we're going to be at the 50% retracement on the NASDAQ. Russell is going to rally as well. So everything is going to rally. Let it go up. The wave right now, the wave, right? As a momentum trader, the wave is heading up, 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 okay, until it's not. Now, we still are not out of the woods yet, guys. So we're probably going to be looking at how it reacts to that 50-day on the XPX, on the NASDAQ, if it can get up there, and on the Russell, if it can get up there. Because even if we get up there, that's a good swing. It's a good start, but we can also pull back, and that's what we want to see what happens next. Friday's going to be a big day. But for now, today's Wednesday. So, again, we're going to worry about today and what happens today. All right, I got some questions here. Future is 45.71. Yes, futures are at 45.71 right now. I picked up cheap 4,700 calls. Like, all right, nice, beautiful. Love that. Good move there. All right, so let's dive in. So let's go into the XPX and the levels here. So the XPX, guys, again, we're gonna open up right at that 45.79. I put 45.71. So that's going to put 10 points higher on the XPX. Okay, so now what does that mean? Well, let's look here. We're going to be looking at right there, 46.13, right in there, right? There's a lot of, like, remember, these were the highs from last week. This is where the bot sold, and this is the hourlies on the hourlies. Remember, this is the hourly on the left. We got the 15 minutes on the right. So right there, around 4,600 is a pretty round number. 45.91. So 45.91 is where that 61st retracement is at, which just puts us right in that. So it's not going to be an exact number, guys. It's going to be right in this ballpark. I've had to choose. It's probably going to hit the 50-day moving average on the XPX daily, okay? And that right now is going to change, guys. So right now, I mean, this is going to go down as well. Right now, it's sitting at 46.29 once we open, okay? So just know that. All right, so XPX, the hourlies look like it's probably going to have a little bit more juice. It's going to have like an exhaustion buy. And what happens up there, right? It can keep going now. And I think Google, I think AMD, a lot of the chips are helping this. So just go with the flow. As far as the XPX on the 15-minute time frame. Now, XPX, if you're watching it all day, and I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, I was watching this thing and, you know, yes, we were setting up. Now look at this. Like we're setting up, we opened. There wasn't really an entry, but look at the price action as the XPX, as the MACDs rolled down. It never really went down. So the other thing about the MACDs, what it can show you if we're kind of going teeter-tottering sideways all day and it just kind of going sideways, it's telling me that one, they're not selling it. Two, right? Because number one, you're expected to sell it. Like you're expected to like sell off. Two, and this is why you have to know the news and earnings, right? Google's announcing. That's a big component. You have AMD, you have a lot of heavy hitters are about to announce. So again, it was acting different. So this is where you can probably look at like the E-minis, and I told you about Sundays. The E-minis give you a heads up of what the XPX is about to do, and it just kind of layered. Now, on the E-minis, it gave you the entry right at that, like 3 o'clock, 3:15, we broke above because it just kind of layered, and we broke above that 4 a.m. hour. So again, for those guys, we talked about the importance of the 4 a.m. hour this past Sunday. And again, 4 a.m. is a pivotal moment. Okay, so again, good job, Skates, on that. Now we're gonna open up higher, guys. So let it go. It's a brand new set of MACDs. Let it go. Rocket 4600 is gonna do well. So again, let it go and set up the next. Yeah. Power hour was textbook. Yep. Exactly. You have to wait and see at the power hour. So even if you're not at your computer, 3 times that you should be looking at it is going to be in the beginning at 9:30. It's going to be right after lunch, and then definitely power hour. Okay. So now, what are we looking at as far as the VIX? And the VIX gave you a little heads up, guys. So for a lot of guys that I talked to yesterday, they were brand new. They're starting. They're a little, they were intimidated. They don't know how to really put things together yet. When we look at the VIX, guys, and I put these alerts up here. Remember, my alert was here yesterday. And the minute, if I'm thinking bullish, right, and this is something else, when this got alerted that we're heading lower, guess what? And I'm looking the XPX kind of going that sideways action. I'm going, wait a minute, this ain't selling off, and fear is diminishing, not entering into the marketplace and going into earnings. And this also gave you a sense of like, okay, we're gonna go higher. Market's acting different, right? So this is why you put the VIX and you put your levels. Now for today, now as you can tell, for the week, VIX, the fear is dying down, like I told you, and that way the market's going higher. So for today, things can change today, but we have levels to look for. So now here are the levels, guys. On the VIX, 2535. Put that in there because anything can happen. If we hit that, then more likely we're going to pull back, right? We're just going to pull back. Things happen, right? If we go above this level, then more likely it's going to be a severe pullback, and fear is entering to the marketplace. So this is why we have that. Now, the VIX looks like it's probably going to hang out here for a little bit. If you want to set it up like, maybe right there at 2198, just for a little heads up to see like, okay, we're going to pull back like I did right now. That's fine. But if it goes up a little bit, that's fine. That's pretty normal, especially after a huge run up. Now, the Treasury notes, we're hanging out here. So again, remember, Treasury notes is like dating, right? You might not like it at first, but then you're going to give her a chance or give him a chance, whatever. And you're going to see, all right, I'm going to give him a chance. Now, if him or her start going above 187, then you're probably going to dump them, and more likely tech is going to dump. Right now, let it hang out here. The market's getting used to bonds being at this rate at this moment right now. So again, that's how we read that. So let's go into the plays here, right? So now, let me get Bitcoin out of the way. So Bitcoin, again, we like this MACD set up right here. It's rallying. Again, still we have in a process a lower low in formation, right? A lower low is put in. Now we're going to put in a lower high. We have this really severe area of 40,346. I would like for this to come down base, and then we go up, and that's where the name, let it base, don't chase. Don't worry, you have plenty of time to get into Bitcoin. Let it base and let the ride the waves behind you. Now here's the thing, MSTR, accounting issues. So we don't know, but this guy's own a lot of Bitcoin. So again, I don't know about those. I have to go into the accounting issues because they announced earnings yesterday. and they missed earnings. Duh, the only thing they own is Bitcoin, but we kind of suspected that. But I have to dive into the process of the Bitcoin is because it might not trade according to, if that's not allowed with MicroStrategy, it might not trade with Bitcoin anymore. So I have to dive into that. Now, as far as Ethereum rallying, again, same type of thing with Bitcoin. Let it chase, don't base. Okay, let's dive into the movers. And because I got some fire setups for you. Let's take a look. If you have something set up, more eyes the merrier. Let me get rid of here potential movers here, and let's get it. All right, so right off the bat, we're going to be like high volatile stocks here. We talked about the XPX. It looks like it's probably going to run fresh to the MACDs, on the QQQs, and fresh to the MACD is going to be on the Russell. Again, now Google rally. Look at Google, guys. Guys, congratulations on Google. There was a lot of setups that you had on Google. Google is going to open up quite big again. So we know the news on Google is probably going to drop. If it drops, there might be a move on Google and a potential play. I'm going to get to that at the end. Amazon, again, might be a play here on Amazon too. And Tesla, like I said, Tesla's just chilling. I think Tesla's going to be bought at certain levels. It's a good company, but is it going to move? I think it's in the 4 to 5 week zone where it just kind of stays in a range. ISRG coming back down, being bought right at that 50-day, too high up here. CMG, I think CMG is going to be a winner. Let's wait for a setup on CMG. It's moving quite nicely. Okay, so CMG moved quite nicely. So we're going to set up CMG as well. Just going to glance here. LRCX, guys, LRCX would probably be at $1,000, right? Because these guys, it's not going to happen today. I think in a long period of time, these guys make the machines that make the chips. They're the American company. So again, let's put that on the horizon. Goldman Sachs go up. It's not going to go down. Now, Netflix is the one we're going to be looking at. It might be setting us up for a trade today. Roku as well. Roku's been following Netflix. Nvidia, we're going to set that up because these guys have earnings as well. So we have Apple, possibly Shopify as well. Okay, so PayPal missed, Starbucks missed, Coinbase. Okay, let's go into this thing. All right, let's dive in. You guys are ready? Let's go in. All right, so we're going to look at Netflix first because I have Netflix on the screens. Is that Netflix? No, shit. All right. Okay, let's go to Netflix. All right, Netflix, guys. So we got the, no. All right, Netflix. All right, we got Netflix. Here we go. All right, so Netflix, this is the daily. We got the 50-minute time frame. I'm going to change the daily to hourlies. But this is Netflix, guys. So here's the deal. As I told you yesterday, Netflix, okay, it looks like they're about to announce something big, all right? I've been looking at the price action. These guys are at the level. They went 50% drop from the highs. They were at the level of like pre-COVID, right? And then with all the news coming out, they just bought. I just showed you they're buying this European game maker. They said that they hired someone to head up their games back in November, but the launch date was pretty far out. They were very kind of ambiguous about the launch date. I think that the launch date is severe. How do we know that? Well, you got Bill Ackman investing a whole bunch of money. I think he invested about $1 billion or so into the company. You got Reed Hastings, who's the owner of Netflix. He hasn't invested in Netflix in over 10 years, guys. So he puts in about $20 million. So again, the market's reading that as a very positive news. I think it's going to go to fill that gap. If we're looking at a technical point of view of 506, the MACDs are about to turn. From this perspective, we're probably going to get a little pop up there. So I'm looking from here. It's probably got more room to go on the daily perspective. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean we want to get a good entry? So now we're going to be looking at the hourlies. Okay, so I'm giving the breakdown right here. Now, the hourlies, this is a high that we're going to be looking at, 463. So I'm going to put an alert up there. That's going to be where they sold it off. Okay, now that's going to be a big level. Now it's pulling back. Let it pull back. Look at the MACDs on the hourlies. Let it pull back. Let it pull back. How far can this pull back? and technically can go back to the 420. Is it going to go up there? No, I think it's probably going to go to this level up here, about 433, maybe even 443. Okay, so those levels going to be looking at on the upside. Now on the 15-minute time frame, is coming back. Let it pull back. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I was in Netflix. I got out around 450. That was my level. I expected this pullback to go. Now I'm eager to add more shares now, or more options. Now here's the thing: give yourself some time. So I don't know if this is going to happen all in a week. If you're new, give yourself 30 days, give yourself 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. The more time, the merrier, so you won't stress out. If you buy yourself less time, you might be right in the trade, but you might have your timing wrong. I already told you it's going to probably hit up there. We have a lot of big players up there, but again, they're going to turn on the algos to mess with us. So give yourself some time and you'll do well. So now let it pull back here. This is Netflix. Let it pull back, guys. Let it pull back. If for those of you who follow my system or you've been watching me here, here's the system. We're going to wait. Key levels here. Let it pull back. That key level right there is going to go. We're going to be looking at the 44.54. Let it pull back. We're going to watch the MACDs to turn and then see what happens. Now, Netflix is very possible. After a move like this, it could have a rest day. Is today a rest day? Don't know. But if we see it moving, the MACD start turning, then we know it's going to move and get back in. Probably looking at the 500 calls, maybe 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, a month. Maybe 510s, add to them. The other way you can do it, you can buy the 480s. And once it moves, buy the 480s, buy the 500s. Once the 480 starts printing, sell the 480s, and that's going to pay for your 500s. Okay, that's a strategy that I always do. Again, write that in. Again, I'm going to repeat that. If you see this thing moving, put in 480s, 500s, 480s prints. Now the 480s are going to, you sell the 480s and that's going to pay for your 500s. That's how you're going to minimize risk. Okay. So right there. So now let's go in. So that was a play there. If you have any questions, write it in right now. Google. Let's go into Google. All right. Google, same type of thing. Google, monster rally. We're going to open up 3058, guys. We're going to open up here. So this is going to be a pretty hard level up there. 3058. 30,000, 30,20, right? We went up to 3058 pre-market, right? Pre-market was 3050, 3058. So we're going to print that. That's going to be pretty hard on Google moving forward. Now, does it have the news to get up there? Yes, it has the news. So again, we just want to know that right, they sold it off. It's probably going to come down 50 points. Now, 3058, because the news here is 20-1 stock split. Guys, people are going to start adding to it because the deal is now. Okay, now they do have some time, but again, we're going to set it up properly. Google's probably going to drop about 50 points. Now, if Google does what it does before in the past, now this is the dailies here. Okay, so we bounced pretty nicely. We're up there. Now I'm going to see what this looks like on the hourlies. On the hourlies, again, MACDs are probably going to come down a little bit. The 15-minute time frame is coming down a little bit. Now, when it drops, there's going to be profit takers, guys. Why is there profit takers? Because, guys, there's some guys, not going to name who, they got into Google there. Remember, we talked about that. They got into Google there for earnings, right? Using the system, and some there, right? Right there. Right there, right? And if you got in there, guess what? You bought the 2,900 to 3,000. You're sitting on $100 in contracts, $100, at least 150, whatever. You have a lot of coin on there. Now let me ask you: you made that much money. Are you going to let it ride? No, you're going to lock in your gains and then set it up for the next trade up. Okay. So again, we're going to see it drop a little bit. Probably at the open. And if you want to trade Google, see how it happens. The same system. We want momentum on our side. But once this thing gets going, more than likely, I think that this could roll. If this does what Google has done in the last earnings plays, after they kill their earnings, it probably is going to move up higher. Key levels to watch. If it takes out 3058, it's going to 3100. Okay. Pretty simple right there. On Google. AMD, I'm going to talk about AMD because that moved as well. AMD killed their earnings too. And again, guys, we're looking at the dailies here. We got dailies. So AMD is going to open up here. Okay. Open up there. Okay. Kill their earnings. Going to open up at 130 right now. killed it, killed it, killed it, killed it, killed their earnings. Now it's probably going to set up. If it pulls back up here and has a continuation of earnings, key level to watch up here is probably going to be that 132. We're going to set up the alert date. If it takes that out, guys, and more likely, let's look at the hourlies. That's the dailies. More likely, it's probably going to head up to that 132. It's probably going to go to 134, 137, definitely 140. So it's got some move to run. If it pulls back a little bit, there might be a setup. MACDs are looking weak, but it's looking like a nice bounce setup possibly right there. So watch it at the open. That could move as well. You got 132. That can move if you want to play AMD. What else did I say? We have Amazon coming up, and we're going to have Facebook. So Amazon, again, Amazon, I'm giving you the fire trades here. Amazon, okay, Amazon rally right nicely on the hourlies, fresh out of MACD. So this has moved to run. Now, are they going to be excited? Are there rumors about, someone always knows, guys. So are there rumors about Amazon splitting? Maybe they can do that. Maybe that's the only saving grace that Amazon has. So let Amazon pull back here. Let's see how it reacts around that 50-day moving average. And we're going to set it up at that, remember, 31.14. It can really get it going. Watch it at that 30.88 too, 30.88, because that was the high pre-market there. But watch it there, see what happens. Look for the MACDs. Now, here's the MACDs that this is probably going to drop a little bit harder. So if it drops, see how it reacts there. But this can move on earnings. If they drive it up into earnings, that's going to be a good play. Now, this is the, what am I looking at? I'm looking at the dailies. Look at the hourly. So we're going to look at a different perspective. On the hourlies, looks like it wants to die down. Let it die down. Let it die down. So let it die down. See where it comes. Wow, 30.12. Somewhere in there, and see how it reacts. Let's set this up nicely. Be patient. It's going to be beautiful. Now, if Amazon had earnings coming up, so they have February 3rd, and I think that's tomorrow. So no need to buy options at this moment. They're going to be cheaper tomorrow if you want to set up the play. Now, Shopify will move with Amazon, okay? So here's Shopify. It's fresh out of MACDs. We're probably going to go a little higher. This thing moved nicely. The bottom was setting at 781. Remember, this thing dropped dramatically, right? So on the 15-minute time frame, let it pull back. Let's see how it reacts around 977. And again, let's see. On the hourlies, again, you know, still a little bit far up. The MACDs look like it's just, the price tag's going to go sideways. It's going to come up there. If we get the setup where it is at the 50 here and at the 50, so 50 on the 15 and 50 on the hourlies, we can probably set this up nicely. Again, two levels we're going to be looking at is we're going to add alert at 993. And again, we're going to add alert at 1028, guys. Okay, so remember, this will move with Amazon. Okay, notice Amazon has good earnings. Now these are going to be cheaper because these guys are not announcing earnings. Remember, the earnings play, they're always going to be more expensive. So if you want to trade that, that's fine. Now let me show you TTD. This is probably going to move, like I said yesterday in another chat. TTD will move with Amazon, and look, it did move with Amazon. So again, why? Because these guys handle the advertisements for all the big buys. So advertisers are killed. These guys are going to open a little higher. So again, $73, fresh out of MACDs. Where is it going to go? Can it go to the 200 days moving average, or it can go to the 50? Now this is the daily. Now Amazon's going to, TT is going to pull back on the 15-minute time frame. See how it reacts at that $72. If it can take out 74, it's probably going to run. Okay, so we have that. But look at it from the hourly's perspective. And guys, I'm just giving you gold right now. Giving you gold right now. So let's let it pull back. Let's see if we can set up. And again, this is nice. Remember, we only need one. Let me see, what else do we have? Ford. So GM announced yesterday, right? So let me just show you GM. I know we don't cover this, but GM announced and they did well, right? Again, so not a big fan of Ford, but it's dying down, or GM. There's a lot of hype around the company, so we're going to trade the hype, whatever. But again, Ford, an hour, again, 21. Let me look what the Ford looks at the dailies if you want to trade Ford. All right, somebody came in and sold it off at 25, so know that level. We're right there. We're right at that 21. If it can take 21, starts going a little bit higher, maybe. These guys have earnings coming up February 3rd. I know the government's giving them a whole bunch of money. And again, guys, here's the thing about Ford. They're talking about how they're converting. Dude, on the inventory, it's only like 1 or 2% of their inventories are EVs. I mean, it's not that much. And then GM only sold like 26 cars, electric vehicle car, maybe 32 cars. So they're making a big deal. They want to make like these guys bigger than they are. And you got to understand, we're going to trade the hype. But here's the thing, Ford long term, they're going to have to revise their inventories. Remember, they make money selling cars on motor powered cars. So as they translate from motor power to EVs, which is only about 1 to 2% of their sales, they're going to lose revenue on their motor vehicles, right? Because you have to transition from your production to EV factories, from gas power factories to EV. So it's a whole different thing. And they have to deal with their batteries. They haven't got the battery thing issued right correctly. So again, but that's just out there. What are we looking at here? We're going to be looking at again, just Ford, if you want to look at it, that might be a play there if it breaks through there, or does it go down? So again, I don't know what the play is, but Ford moved on GM's news, so that's what play. It doesn't really move that much. What else? What else do we got out there? Let's look at the SPY again, because again, this is the derivative of the SPX or the E-minis. So SPY, like I said, we already gave you the levels. We're going to open up higher around 45.55. Hourlies, again, we're up there. So again, 45.57 is going to be an alert. Can we break through that again? So we're up there already. You can do the 4 a.m. hour, I believe. Can you do it here? No, you can't. All right. You have to go to TOS. But again, spiders are going to pull back a little bit. Let it pull back. Let's see how it reacts around 455. It can probably go to 452 and see if it bounces up there. And that's going to be spiders. But right now we're seeing a little bit of weakness at the open. Okay. If we're going to QQQs, same type of thing. Weakness. Let's see how it reacts at that 368. We're going to be looking at to get it going 372. Now, this is the NASDAQ if you want to trade that. And this is the IWM. This is the Russell. So again, we're going to be looking at 204. If it pulls back, bounces off 202, watch the MACDs. You guys know the playbook, but it looks a little bit weak. Probably wants to pull back a little bit. Roku, you got it, Win. Let's look at Roku. Roku on the daily. So we're going to look at Roku. All right, Roku got hammered. So I like Roku. Oh, I got to do Baba too. I like Roku, right? I think it's got hammered pretty severe. It was a $500 stock. Wow. But this is the bottom here, 138 possibly. Roku's changing. Here's a divergence. It probably wants to head up there, has 180 as a headwind. Probably can go up to the 200-day moving average. I mean, the 50-day moving average are right there. But let's look at the hourlies. The hourlies, again, look at 171 to get it going, 170 right there. It looks like it probably needs to pull back on the 15-minute time frame. Let's see how it reacts here. So you got 166 to about 167, how it reacts there. 172, 171 to really get it going. Okay, can it pop? Possibly. But on the hourlies, just know that. If Netflix starts going, I think Netflix has been taking Roku up. So that's my thing on Roku. Let me see if there's anything else. What time is it? We have time. 9:08. We went a little bit extra. All right, got to set up my... I have to set up my exit on Google, all right, and set up those. Let's see, Tesla, nothing. Amazon, CMG, maybe. Let's do NVIDIA. Because I want to do NVIDIA. NVIDIA probably can move. And NVIDIA, when is earnings on NVIDIA? Okay, so earnings coming up. February 16, guys. If they take this up on Qualcomm News, this can run. Okay, fresh to the MACDs. It's probably going to run already. So again, watch NVIDIA. NVIDIA can probably go, it's going to open up higher. So this is what I mean. AMD took up NVIDIA, took it up. So again, is it going to rally? Maybe. So watch NVIDIA. This could be a play here, guys. Watch NVIDIA on the hourlies because we got Qualcomm as well. Okay, so again, 261 to get it going. Let it come back. These options will be cheap right now. They'll be cheap because they announce earnings next week, I believe. So again, let's see if this can set up right around 254. Watch it right there. The other one we're looking at is Baba. Again, I don't like Chinese companies, but when Baba. Okay, so Baba moved quite nicely, 128. So watch it. This thing, I'm going to show you. Charlie Munger has been buying it, which is Warren Buffett's partner, has been buying this thing. It broke the 50-day moving average. If it breaks here, this could be setting in the bottom. Again, the bear traps are going to be 138, 136. If it gets through that, the bears are going to get trapped. They're going to have to cover. This thing is going to move. Okay, that's the play. As long as China, no bad news on China, this can move. But this thing has been hammered, right? Hammered. Again, but Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, big player, has been buying tons and tons of BABA. Okay, so that's all we need to know. So now if this is going to move, they're going to start building a position. We're going to be looking at this early. Okay, so again, let it pull back, set up, right? It's probably setting up. And let's wait for the proper setup and see if they're going to activate their programs to start buying again. They're not going to buy all at once, but keep this on your horizon. All right, Netflix is dropping. Netflix is dropping. All right, we got that. So Netflix is going a little bit lower. That's fine. Let it drop. Let it bait. Let it come back down. No problem. And we're going to set this thing up. We already know. They already told us that they're buying this thing. All right, guys. It is 9/11. 9/11, guys. That's all we got. Any questions? Any answers? Oh, real quick, guys. Let me know. I'm going to send out Think About This. It was known to me for this Sunday that it is Super Bowl Sunday. Our class is Super Bowl Sunday. So our class is at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Super Bowl, I think, is in the afternoon at 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I think it's like 5 or 6 o'clock. Which is 8 o'clock. It shouldn't interfere with the Super Bowl, but it's up to you guys. We can move it to Saturday, or do you want to keep it on Sunday? Think about that. If you want to write it in, I'll let you know. Let me know tomorrow. Let me know, and I'll send you guys an email. If you guys want to join us, or anybody else out there who would love to join us for the class, let me know. There's a Patreon page on my link at the bottom of the description of this video. Go on there and you guys can subscribe in there. All right, guys. Other than that, guys, go out there, go get it. Let's make some money. Let's ride these waves. We got some beautiful, beautiful waves. So let's see if this thing sets up. It's not this Sunday. Okay, cool. Thanks, Gator. So it's not this Sunday. It is next Sunday. Good job. So we'll keep it right on track. But start thinking about next Sunday. I'm okay with the 9 to 11 o'clock. Or we can move it to Saturday. Up to you guys, but let's check it out. All right, guys, go out there, go get it. Let's get it. Stay green, stay green. And again, we got some beautiful setups up there. All right, guys, go out there. God bless. Stay green, guys. And I'll see you at TradingView. I'll probably pop in there for about when I like it, brother. I like it. That's the attitude right there. Me too. I'm with you, brother. I used to be a baseball player, and now I don't even watch sports, but it's more of a social thing. All right. I love it. Let's get some money. Let's create legacy for our family, brother. All right. Love you guys. All right, let's go get it. Get ready. 9:13. We got 15 minutes to set up those trades. All right, take care, guys. God bless.